Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to Small Higurashi When They Cry. I hope to maybe finish these last three this episode, but we shall see. Preview of lots for sale. Yay, Hanyu. I don't know what to do. My name is Ichiro Maebara, and I'm hopelessly lost. I came to Hinmazawa on a tour to find a lot for a vacation home. When the realtor finished explaining some details, he told us to take a walk until the departure time. Such a beautiful scenery and fresh air. I let my senses guide me, and here I am. Where am I? I still have a little time before the departure, but I'm completely lost. This is basically the middle of nowhere, but people actually do live here. If I keep walking, I should run into somebody, then I can ask for directions. Don't worry. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. The only thing I need to keep in mind is the departure time for a bullet train. As more time passes, the more I start to think I was being too optimistic about running into somebody. Because I can't find anybody at all. Maybe I'm walking farther and farther away from where people are, in which case I'm in serious trouble. So upon hearing someone's voice, I feel immensely relieved. It's funny I'm hearing this combined with current music. It sounds like little girls are playing nearby. If it's a place where little kids can play, it must be a safe village. I followed those voices. You said plural. This is a nice scene. I don't think we've seen this before. Upon rounding the wild pampas grass, I see a beautiful field. Two girls are playing there. They're dancing in a field filled with blooming wild flowers. What I'm seeing is more beautiful than all the great works of art I've ever seen put together. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but this looks holier than any religious painting. Why is it that seeing innocent girls dance around like this makes people feel this way? It's probably because we're sinners. Can't live with pleasure and glory alone. We sin even as we live. That's why we feel awed by the sight of innocence. It reminds us of a time when we were pure. We grow up naturally, and we lose innocence as we do, and we admire and we adore the children who symbolize that which we've lost.
Me.
Aww. Seeing the old background there.
とかなんとか難しいことを言いながら変な不審者が僕たちをじっと見ていますのです。は
Very true.
あ。
And we can't see through Hanyu.
リカ、あれは不審者ではありませんのです。
Oh? Eh? Sorry. I'm not suspicious.
とか言いながら僕の美しさと目が離せないのです。
Okay, there was one part here where I was concerned a bit. I was like, maybe I'm just reading into it too much. No, I'm not. Don't turn me in. I really wasn't staring. I was using this mirror to fix my hair. What? But he can see Hanyu.
何言ってるかわかんないのですが、とっても面白いことを言っている気がしますのです。なんというか、血は争えないという気がしますです。
The girls teased me for a while. When they got tired of doing that, they went back to dancing around. Yes, because she knows who he is already. Realizing that whatever I said would backfire, I decided to leave him alone and sat down to watch them play. I wonder how old they are. They seem rather young, but maybe they could be close to Keiichi's age. If we move here, Keiichi might meet them at school. If you would see them at school, then they were girls that lived here. What? If all the children in Himazawa are like them, and even if living a rural life may have some challenges, there's a good reason for us to move here. We're not very good parents. We didn't understand what Keiichi was going through, and left him all alone until the very end. According to the parenting book I bought, the first few problems are calls for help. Doesn't matter what the action itself is, The fact that those actions are occurring is a primitive appeal from the child seeking communication. Humans can speak, and that's one of the reasons why we don't notice such signs. We can only hear words through our ears, and we can't sense the signs coming from our son's heart. Keiichi probably thinks it's all his fault. Of course, he's not absent of blame. Humans aren't dogs or cats. We should know what's right and what's wrong. But it's our fault too, as his parents. To let him think that he had to go that far for us to be able to understand him is really pathetic and disappointing of us. If we had understood him and hadn't cornered him, Keiichi wouldn't have done that. So the incidents weren't only Keiichi's fault. Everyone in the Maibara family was to blame. I want to explain that to him, but he's still too young and hot-headed to be able to understand. Right now, the guilt he's feeling is basically crushing him under its weight. He doesn't even have the will to live. My wife is the same. She's blaming herself for forcing him to study for better grades. She thinks that's why the incidents took place. And I'm no different. I'm blaming myself for not being involved in my son's education. I think that's why the incidents took place. Cross will forever be forever on our shoulders, even after the injured child accepts our apologies. Yet our cold society will tell us to die under the weight of that cross. Even so, we have to live. We have to accept our sins and carry our burdens on our shoulders. Maybe we can start a new life here in this village. I thought about all that as I watched the girls dance. Keiichi needs friends like them. Friends like those girls who offer him so much more than the friends who only talked about cram schools and exam results. Hasn't he forgot his whole purpose of, getting to the bullet train on time? The girls are playing near a sign that doesn't fit into this open field. It's a sign about lots for sale, and the name of a realtor who brought me here for the tour is written on it. Does that mean we can live, even in this beautiful area, if we want to? One of the girls spoke as if reading my mind.
ここはいい村なのですよ。きっと都会にはなかったものがあるのです。
Yeah, that's right. I think so too.
でも、この村にないものをきっと都会のあなたが持ってきてくれる気がするのです。
Do we have anything?
ありますのですよ。僕たちはこの村で何百年間も暮らしています。
And of course he's going to take it as the whole villages that I have. She's talking literally.
そこには誰も訪れず、何も起こりませんです。だから何も起きないし、何も変えられない。
Maybe she is talking about history. Isn't that what's good about this place?
何かを変わりたいと思うから、この村に来たのじゃないのですか？
Yeah, you're right about that.
僕たちも新しい人を迎えたい。それは例えるなら水の流れ出ぬ沼の堰を破るようなもの。水は出入りがあるからこそ清水となる。確かにこの村は明治のついこの間まで沼の名前がついた村でしたのです。でもそれが変わり、ひなみ沢という地名に変わりましたのです。沼の水は流れずよどむ。でも沢の水はよどまない。それにね、あなたたちが教えてくれるのよ。堰は破れるものだ、破るものだってね。
Are they playing riddles with me? I have no idea what they're trying to say. There's one thing I know. The villagers are waiting for new people to come here and want to build a future with those newcomers. I looked at the sign behind the girls one more time, so that I'd remember this place. I've already decided.
引っ越してくるのを待っていますですよ。前原。
ああ、いたいた。お客さん、こんな遠くまで行ったらダメですよ。
A raspy voice from a distance ended this innocent moment. It's Ryota. I guess he's been looking for me because I didn't return. Sorry about that. I got lost. I apologized while scratching at my head. I turned around to look for the girls, but they weren't there anymore. I'm just happy to have found you. So, introducing Keiichi, my brother.
これが学校なのかよ。すげえな。さすが田舎だな。
Keiichi, don't say stuff like that. People in this area love coming here. That was my first impression of the Hinmazawa branch school. No matter how I look at it, it doesn't look like a school at all. It even has a sign that says Hinmazawa Forestry Service.
まあ確かに我が校は営林署さんの敷地をお借りしておりますからの。
Said the man they called the principal as he laughed heartily.
学び屋は違っても学校であることは同じです。前原くんがこれまで通われていた学校とはいろいろルールが違うと思いますが、大丈夫ですか？
はい。
I heard all the grades are put in the same classroom at the school. I didn't believe it, but I think it's really true. It really is true. They're all younger than I am, so I guess it will be like kindergarten. But it'll be interesting compared to my previous school, where everyone looked the same age.
前原くんが転校してきたら、男子の中では最年長になると思います。ですので、自分の勉強だけでなく、下級生たちの模範になるよう示さなければなりません。下級生は上級生の悪い癖をすぐに真似します。先生もそこは厳しく注意していますから、前原くんも下級生に悪い影響を与えないよう常に襟を正していてくださいね。
わかりました。努力します。
Keiichi? What she means is that textbooks aren't the only things you learn from. As a member of the class, and also as an older student, you have to be a good example. I know that already. After that, Chie-sensei brought us to an empty classroom and showed me where my desk would be. Since we're all still growing, I'm sure our sizes are very different. There are some desks that are way too small for me to even put my legs under, and also some that are just perfect for me. Really, all those desks look quite the same as us. There are approximately 30 desks in here, but since all the different grades are in the same room, I'm sure it's very lively. There's also a wall full of calligraphy and art from different grades. It's all pretty exciting, nothing like my previous school. It reminds me of the days when I truly enjoyed my school life.
父さん、俺気に入ったよ。やっぱり町の学校よりこっちの学校の方がいいや。
I think my son likes it here. I like it here. Yeah, I think... I want him to go to a school too.
そうですか。沖宮の学校の方が設備もちゃんとしていますし、立派な先生方もたくさんおられますのに。
Even while saying that, Chie-sensei looked happy to hear that a new student would be transferring into her class. My father and the teachers went back to the teacher's office to get the transfer process going. In the meantime, I decided to stay in the classroom and look around. I didn't care about the move. I had lost the will to live because of what I did. I didn't have any willpower, and I couldn't even get out of bed. So when my parents told me about the move, I thought that wouldn't change anything. But after the move, something did change. I want to restart my life. I want to restart my life and become someone I've always wanted to be. Here in Hinozawa and at this school, I can do that. I'm not going back to who I was. I'll never again think that good grades are the most important thing in this world. I have a feeling that I can learn the things that are really important in life here at the school. I never had the chance to learn them before now. It's almost embarrassing to put into words, but they're extremely valuable things, and if you don't learn them, you won't become a decent adult. The students at the school learned them a long time ago. To them, they're a given. Yet I have to spend time learning about them even at this age. How to make friends. How to play with friends. To play. Things you can only learn from play. Things like socializing with others. Etc. 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 It seems so easy, but it will take me a while to learn them. I pushed those things aside and devoted myself to studying. I'm not trying to say studying isn't important, but you shouldn't become blinded by it. If someone says studying and good grades are the most important things in life, he's talking bullshit. So I can restart my life here at this school. Finally, I can become someone I've always wanted to be. I noticed two girls looking in at me through the window. The schoolyard must also be a playground for these children, because I saw a lot of them playing there earlier. I guess those two noticed me walking around the classroom and became curious. I guess that's natural. I'm a stranger to them. Wondering which ones it is. Maybe Mion, Rena, or Rika, and Hanyu. Should I say hello and let them know that I'm starting school next Monday?
ようやく引っ越してきたのです。僕は待ち疲れたのですよ。はあ。でも、これでまた変わってくるのです。だって、圭一はサイコロの6なのですから。6ではありますですが、圭一の振るサイコロが1がよく出上がりますです。
Just imagine walking up to that conversation about yourself.
圭一が悪いわけではありませんのです。
They already know your name and they're talking about I'm saying you're the sixth one die, but you roll a 1 far too often.
全部羽生が悪いのです。お前のせいなのです。圭一に謝れなのです。
俺の名前を知ってるのか?
She said my name, didn't she? Did I hear her wrong? I've never met her before.
ニパー転校生なのですか?
Yeah, sure, just smooth it over like that, why don't you?
よろしくな。前原圭一ってんだ。今度の月曜から来ることになると思うぜ。仲良くしてくれよな。
仲良くしましょうなのです。圭一に古出神社の巫女さんがありがたいお告げなのです。転校初日は教室の扉が鬼門なので入るときは注意なのです。
That has nothing to do with you being the Shrine Maiden. That has everything to do with Satoko.
あと、椅子の背中に画鋲、机の中にはカエルのおもちゃまで入ってます。でも、何度警告しても、圭一は何度でも引っかかるのです。月曜日はかわいそうなのです。
だから面白いのだけれど、たまにはそんな運命も打ち破ってみて。あなたがそれを教えてくれるのよ。あまたの世界の一つでね。
は
I'll be reminded of a prophecy made by the two girls next Monday because of the actions of the snaggletooth girl. I'll realise it too late though. But I like it here. My name is Keiichi Maibara. This is my new beginning, and this time I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. I've been missing out on so much, but I'm going to learn all those things here. I'm going to absorb all of it, and I'll become someone I've always wanted to become. It may take a very long time, but I'll definitely do it. So I'm guessing this is the last leap for all these fragments. And something's happened that Hanyu can now actually talk to everyone. Ooh, got a new background again. June 1983. This is the last fragment before the... Ah! With this, do I have all the pieces lined up for 1983? It sure is a hard and exhausting job just lining up the pieces for the month of June. But finally, I'm at the starting line. Beginning from zero, at last. Yet, seeing all these colourful fragments together, I realised just how many sentiments were intertwined around June 1983. I used to think that thoughts of people with no relation to me were useless. I was wrong. Rika Furude did her best to overcome the fate of June 1983. She did two things. One was to get in touch with the Irie Institute, because she knew she would be protected there. Ironically, Takano from the Irie Institute was one who wanted to kill her, but it was the best move for her at the time. And the other was to ensure that the Maibara family moved to Hinmazawa. It actually wasn't certain that the Maibara family would move here. They first decided to move here when the father felt something sentimental at the sight of us on the day he came to view the properties for sale. Therefore, it was necessary for us to play in that field. It was the trigger for the Maibara family's move. It took me so long to find that out though. After turning various conditions on and off repeatedly, I finally realised that meeting Keiichi's father at that field was the cause. Keiichi Maibara is a very important key for breaking Rule Z, one of the chains that was binding me. He is the fresh air that's powerful enough to break all the old and evil customs in this village. He created many opportunities, but he also provided me with an important clue by letting me know that a strong conviction and the will to believe is what's important in standing up against a powerful fate. But I wasn't the only one who wanted him here. People in the Sonozaki family who wanted to wipe out the nastier traditions of the village also wished for him. Mion Sonozaki vowed to herself to protect Sadako and Satoshi because she was very much bothered by how irrational the treatment of the Ojo family was. And the night Satoshi Ojo disappeared, she exploded at Oryo Sonozaki and voiced her true feelings. Oryo Sonozaki understood. Oryo herself had come to understand the wicked customs of this village and had been wanting to do something about it. But she didn't have the power to do so herself, so she entrusted it to the fresh air that was blowing in from the outside. That was why the lots went on sale, so the Maibara family could move in. Even if I danced in that field, if Oryo hadn't put the lots on sale, Keiichi couldn't have come. And Rena Ryugu, who provided many important opportunities for Keiichi Maibara, was saved by returning to Hinmazawa after the deep emotional trauma of her parents' divorce. Sent her into a terminal condition. Keiichi Maibara's wish to restart his life was the same wish Rena Ryugu had a year prior. Maybe that's why Rena was able to understand Keiichi. It's like a miracle where one can recognize moments in a certain fragment from another fragment. If they can use the lessons learned from one fragment, then humans won't make those mistakes. The game pieces will make their best moves, and the chances of winning this game of June 1983 will rapidly increase. In other words, Rena Ryugu makes extremely important moves on this game board without realizing it. The mighty Rule Z that surrounded the Hojo siblings was eventually smashed by their actions. Of course, Sadako overcoming herself was also a big help. Their hands met only because they reached from both sides. Keiichi and Rena are the ones who taught me that. Mion is one who made it possible for them to move here, and she also helped them to become familiar with the village. That's not all. Irie is also an important piece with significant functions of his own. Feeling empathy for Sadako, he is the most influential piece on the board we call Hinamezawa syndrome. His existence is capable of defeating Rule X. Keiichi and Ren's determination and subsequent awakening taught us that it was possible to fight against Rule X, but they didn't defeat it. Defeating Rule X requires the existence of Irie, who has the strong will to discover a cure for the syndrome. I didn't know Irie held this many thoughts within him. I always thought he was rather absent-minded, but he is, in fact, an important and powerful piece. So if we gather all this power, can we win against Takano's will? I've seen Takano's thoughts too. Sadly, her will was strong and can't be easily broken. It's no wonder our fate in June 1983 has been so hard to shake, no matter how hard we fought. The sentiments I've been turning towards it pale in comparison to how many she's brought into it. The weight of our game pieces is different, because I've given up on fighting while she's been risking her life to fight on. I've spent time sulking and drinking wine to escape from reality. I must be a very light piece indeed. I can't win against Takano with what I have so far. I need more pieces to be able to win. The officer Oishi once showed the possibility of becoming a strong ally, but he's under the misunderstanding that the Sonozaki family caused the death of his dear friend. Oh, Oishi, the officer. Oishi, rather than the officer that Oishi brought. Aha. So until that gets resolved, he won't be of any help. I don't know how I can resolve that misunderstanding, but I just have to believe in it and keep throwing the die. Just like Keiichi and Ren constitute a chance to change fate, maybe Akasaka has the power to create a chance as well. The curse of 1983 is tied to the curse of Hinamezawa. The curse can't be broken by inner power alone. It takes power from outside as well. Both sides have to reach out, otherwise the hands won't meet, just like what happened with Sadako. But Akasaka has never come to our aid. Even if he did, it was always too late. Too late. Far too late. But if I keep throwing the die, will Akasaka's game piece eventually appear? The final rule, Rule Y, involves the evil masterminds who are using Takano as their own game piece. To defeat them, I need a very strong opponent for her. And the only one I can think of is none other than Akasaka from the police headquarters in Tokyo. There are more pieces who would lend me their power. I need to gather them all, otherwise I can't win against Takano. The preparation of the game board is complete, but I need more pieces. It's only the beginning. The game board is set up. I wonder if there is an order. I know this one's going to be last. I'm wondering if it is in this order. This one happens after Nokukushi. Oh, I think we can do any of these three first. Any of these four first, because now the game board is set up. This one requires Nokukushi, this one requires Watem, this one requires Tatarigoroshi. I feel like I'm going to start with Himatsubushi first, since it is set several years earlier, and it's probably going to involve the acquisition of Akasaka. I wonder how much overlap there will be from the original Himatsubushi, and I wonder how much overlap there will be with the original fragments of all of these. Eventually we'll have Matsuribayashi. It was very interesting to have Hanu appear and be visible to both Keiichi and his father. So they will probably both appear. Again, the fragments. I am sad though that which one? This one. We didn't hear about Shion. Is Shion an important piece? Aww. I feel like two of my favorite characters. It's too hard to choose. But Shion's definitely up there, as well as Hanyu and Rika. We're getting towards the end. I expect these ones to be a fair bit longer than the other fragments we've been having so far. We might have several like episodes per fragment from now on. But we shall see next time. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And yeah, until then, see ya.